Okay, guys, quick update with Bitcoin, and forgive me, I am really tired. I was up all last night shorting this, so if I screw up, I'm just gonna go right through this, guys. So I'm going to show you how I found these three red lines, and again, nobody knows for sure if the top is in, but if it's not in, the way I found these lines, that's one hell of a coincidence. So I'll show you how I found these lines, and I did mention this in Discord. I was trying to find the top last night, and we actually caught the top, and I made this post here. I'll show you how I found those. This is the chart I mentioned in the last video. That was this video here. I'll put a link up to it now. And I told you guys, said, look, if we're below 116,500, we're in bubble territory. And I said, if we hold above 116,500, that's bullish. I mean, bottom line, you would chance a short here. If you come back down and test the support, you would go long. I'll put this video now if you want to check it out. And you can see that's exactly how it played out. Again, this line is a very key line. It goes back since 2017. So obviously that is your critical support level. So had you listened, when we pushed above it, it came back down, held a support, you'd go long. So now that's your critical support. So I'm going to cover all your support levels on multiple time frames. I'm also going to show you a DOGE chart, XRP chart, and total too. Before we do that, guys, if you're getting into leverage trading coin catches, no KYC, no VPN. If you want to check out the events page, I'll put a link up to it now. You can deposit 1,000 USDT and get 5,000 USDT back. It's 30 slots every 7 days. They have lower tiers, 500. If you deposit 500, you get 1,250 back. If you get access, or if you get your deposit and use your bonus, you can get free access to my charts in Discord. Just email me through the website. If you want to sign up with my link, I'll put a link up to it now. If you want to learn how to trade on CoinCat's tutorial video I made showing you how I use the tools, difference between trigger order, limit order, market price, just basically how to set up your account, transfer your funds to your futures account, and set up your account. I'll link up this video now if you want to check it out. And of course, guys, if you want to subscribe to my website, get access to charts in Discord. Again, Bitcoin, altcoin charts, precious metals, and Discord's $49 a month. You can't pay with USDT, but you need to email me through the website. And I do have tutorials teaching my charting method. And I'm going to explain something particular about these charts. That price always seems to keep the same trajectory, or same angle, which I'll show you in just a bit. But I'll put a link up to the website now. Okay, so we'll come back to this chart because this is our key support. Look, as long as we're above this red line, as far as I'm concerned, we're still bullish. However, it is very possible that this could be a cycle top. Now, I know I'm going to get a lot of crap. People are going to say, no, top's not in. Maybe, all right? We know that as long as we're above this level, that's bullish. If we get back below that level, then, I'll make another video saying the bubble pop. Because if we're below this point, sorry, that's getting in bubble pop territory. And then we have one other support level, and that's this support level here. This is the curve. So we'll cover these levels, but I want to show you how I found these lines and why I'm saying that this possibly could be a cycle top. So basically what I did was the first thing I did, you notice this red line right here. So I was looking for, was going back and looking at previous tops and trying to, because this is price discovery when price is pushing up. So finding these points, using a fib retracement, or you can find some targets. But just going by this, I found 3 lines of previous tops that perfect confluence. So basically, I just did a trend line right here from 2020 or 16th of December 2024 through the 20th of January 2025. And you can see that matches perfectly where we topped, right? You just go from the wick, right? From this wick right here to this wick right here, we topped out 124,500. Well, that matched perfectly. And then I went back and I was looking for further confluence. And if you'll notice, well, I found this one right here. So if I clone this and bring this over, it's fun. I just like to just see what I can find. That's how I developed my method of charting in the first place, using fib channels. So I brought this over and brought it right to the wick down here, where we topped out at 111,946. And look at that, right dead center where we peaked at 124,500. So I figured, okay, well, let's see what else I can find. So I went back even further, and this one was a little tougher. So basically, I just drew a line from right here to this point right here, and just took this and brought it over. And again, like I said, that is a hell of a lot of confluence. If you bring it right down to, you can see right here, this area right here where we topped out, that gives you 3 points of confluence right here for a possible top. Now, I'm not saying the top has to be in, guys. I'm just saying, seeing how price typically, and you can see it always does that when we top. Price typically just goes a little higher than the previous high. This will push up, price will go a little higher, then we'll push up a little higher and a little higher, and then we have a drop. So again, just using that. See, we drop, we push up, and then we drop. But notice that the angle's the same. So using those, actually there was, I already covered that one. Okay, so I showed you how I found that one. This one was, again, guys, I'm tired as shit. I'm sorry, but again, this is just a way you can find these tops. So if we push up again and we have another top and we go higher, just use this as a reference to find these potential points as a top. So currently, we topped out around what, 124,000. Let me zoom in. We topped out around what, 124,387. Let me make this larger. So we know now we do have a support level above. So this is your main support level. So if price drops, I will be longing this point. And I mentioned this in the previous video. If we got above, when we were above, if we came back down a point too long, well, we have this channel, right? This is, let me get a brush tool here. This is resistance, support, resistance. We dropped all the way down to support, support, resistance, right? So this is our resistance level. This yellow line is going to be support, and you have this red line that goes back since 2017. That's also going to be support. So that is a lot of support. Notice we're already finding support on this trend line right here. So again, stay bullish as long as we are above 116,700. A lot of confluence on multiple charts. If we get below 116,704, well, your next major support level on this chart is down around 100 and let's say 11,600. So that will be a next key support level because that's the next fib line below. So 116,700, your first critical support level. Be long above that point. If that becomes resistance, your next key support level will be down here, and that is that curve, which we kind of dropped below it a bit and pushed above. And guys, I can zoom out again for those of you who might not have paid attention in previous videos or missed it. You can see this curve, right? Encompasses all of our peaks. You can see all the way back since 2011. Peak here, peak all through here, peak here. And we hit it again. And we got rejected, and then we came down and we held it as support and pushed up. So if we break, guys, if we break 116,700, that becomes resistance. Your next target to pay attention to is 114,500. And notice I have this line right here. So look, if we get back below 116,700, yeah, I'm going to put out a video saying the bubble popped again. And if we get below 114,523, well, we're back below this curve, and it's, I mean, we're going to be dropping like crazy. But in the meantime, stay bullish above 114,500, 116,700. That's your most critical support. If that breaks, I guess we're still bullish above 114,500. If that breaks, again, like I said, we're going way the hell down. Okay, so I told you I would cover XRP and DOGE. Let me give you key levels to pay attention to. Again, we were playing this on the, I was making updates about this in Discord. We were trying to find the top, which we pretty much caught it. Notice we were moving up this support level here, right? And we broke it, tested resistance, and then we moved down this this falling wedge. But there was a lot of liquidity, and I made a post in Discord about this. There was a lot of liquidity down around 120K, just a tad below. So it made more sense that we would break down from this pattern. So we held our shorts, and you can see right here, So we broke down from it. So your current most key resistance level. So if you want to stay in your short and you're looking for a good area to have your stop above, would be around 120,589. You can just go back and look at this line and you can see why. Price respect. Let me turn off the Bollinger Band, guys. You can see price respected this line very well. It's just a red line outlining the fib line, so it's easier to see. So that is your most critical resistance on the hourly. Again, this is, I had this on the 15-minute, but again, this is your most critical resistance level, around 120,600. You can see that this is a support level we broke right here, right? So that will become resistance, and you have this fib line. So again, if you're in a short and you want to hold that short, I think a safe stop above 120,600. Otherwise, when we come up, that might be a point we want to open a short. But again, I'm just showing you the levels, and just for further confluence, if we do drop, why 116,500 would be a great point to long. You can see that we've got confluence on this H1 chart, 116,500, and that is in confluence with the support level. So we could wick below, as long as we're above 116,700, stay bullish, guys. Let's see, so if we do push above 120,629, next key resistance level is going to be, well, this right here is just from our previous high, 123,200. You see we did a test of it, 123,300. So that right there is going to be resistance. Now we did push above it, a little fake out, but that will be your resistance. And then the next fib line above is going to be around, again, this is 15 minutes. Let me pull these out a bit. So 122,190, and then a lot of resistance from 122,821. If we get below 116,500, like I said, 114K area is going to be very critical support, and again, that is that curve. This is the D1 chart. Take note, this is a central Bollinger Band on the daily. Let me give you a price note. So right here, you can see this is currently sitting at, make this bigger so you can see it. This is currently sitting at 117,145. So we could wick below it a bit, or we could just push up from here. But again, that's critical support. That is the central Bollinger Band on the daily. Your current most critical resistance level I have on this chart. Let's see here, price label. So your current resistance to pay attention to right now, and if you watch the video and look at the different charts, you can see the confluence. So 121,000. Let's see here. Right here, you see 120. So if we go further out, this is what, 120,754. And again, this is on the 15 minutes, so that price gets higher, but you can see the confluence. So your key resistance right now on the daily to pay attention to is around 121,000. Next daily candle open, your current major critical resistance 121,100. If we drop, your next key support level, just like we caught a perfect bounce on this line around 105,299. You can see we caught another perfect bounce, literally to the dollar, 111,994. So we know that our next support level below that is going to be around potentially 114,832. So you can see that there's a lot of confluence between those two targets I gave you. Once we break 114,000 around that area, well, like I said, then we're definitely coming way down, guys. But what I find very interesting is the fact that finding these previous the lines that match up with these previous tops gave us a perfect point too short. So again, I don't know it's a cycle top, guys. It's just again, maybe it's one hell of a coincidence. But I want to make sure you have those key levels. I did want to cover the DXY. It did drop. Notice we broke below 98.16, and we're pushing back up, testing that as resistance now. So do pay attention to the dollar. I've been talking about this for a while. As long as we're above 96.67, the DXY could push back up. And one reason for that is because if the markets drop, people tend to jump into cash. And also talked about this Dow chart. I'll keep you updated as price goes along, but this is on the daily. Put it on the weekly. You can see we are at that line. We got a perfect rejection at that red fib circle. And I told you guys it's very possible once we cross this ring, while we could hold it as support, I expect us to move down this ring. And if you watch previous videos, I showed you how far down we could go. So that's why I'm saying this right here could be a cycle top. We'll see how the Dow plays out. And again, DXY, while it does look a little bearish, it has been holding critical support, and I did cover this 2 videos back, why this yellow line is so important. Let me show you Doge. So these are, so I told you guys in the previous video I would cover 2 new charts I created. I published this Doge chart. So the new altcoin charts I'm creating, I'm using a USDT. My previous charts are USD. This was published on July 31st. Just want to show you the accuracy of these charts. So if we were to drop, your support would be around what, 0.22. And if you drop further than that, it'd be 0.15. If you push up, well, you have this ring as resistance. Let's see how this plays out. You can see it became down. And again, I take the time to map out the direction of price and see how price respects these angles. You know, this is support back here, it's resistance, support, resistance. So that's why going back and finding those previous tops and seeing the direction of price moved, the angle allowed me to find a potential top. But you can see how accurate this chart's been. So look, we got rejected right at this ring, right at the ring. Notice when we crossed this ring, we pushed up. So when we crossed this ring, we pushed up. So it's possible, if we continue down, your next key support level for, again, this is Doge. Your next key support level is going to be around, what, 18 cents, 0.18. Your next key support level below that is 0.16. Your current resistance is the ring right now at 0.25, and your next critical resistance level above is 0.28. But you can't get access to these live charts on my website. This is XRP. I published this on July 31st. Just want to show you how this plays out. So if we drop, your support level is 3.05. If we push up, your resistance is 3.29. You push above that, your resistance is 3.53. Let's see how this played out. All right, we dropped down. So we dropped down and we held support on this ring. So rings can be support and resistance. If you notice, I have fib lines as well. Notice we pushed up and we got rejected at this red fib line. It's previously support back here. Got rejected, came down, held support. See this line right here? This is a fib line. Got a rejection here. This became support. But notice how the price respects these rings. You push up to the yellow ring, you get rejected. Support on the yellow ring 1, 2, 3 times. Pushed above it, got rejected at this yellow ring. Held support on the yellow ring, became resistance, right? Became support. We got rejected. The next yellow ring was our resistance. This ring became support. So your current levels on XRP. So your current most critical resistance level above is 3.30. Your next most critical support level above that is 3.51. You can see you already held support. This line right here is the very key support level. That's why I have it outlined in white. Again, you get access to these live charts on the website if you want to sign up. But your key support level right now is 3.05. If that breaks, your next key support level is going to be 2.85. And we know this because we have this green fib line in this direction, right? And we have this blue fib line in this direction. So that means that is a very critical support level around 2.85. This is total 2, 1 day. So people in Discord were asking me to create total 2, total 3, dominance, all that. I just want to show you the way I create these fib channel charts. Again, this is published on August 24th, 2024. Just want to show you how well price respects these fib lines. Once you know the direction of price and you create this fib channel structure, which I create in my tutorials, you can access on the website, you can just see how well price respects these lines. So notice this is where it was published. Price came down, found support right. See this green line right here? This green line was support and resistance. Notice it held support, support, support again, became resistance. We dropped below it a bit, but it came support. But notice this line right here. This line became resistance. That flipped as support. Then we pushed up. This line right here, this red line, was a lot of resistance, support, resistance. It's a very clear support and resistance level. That's why we got rejected at 1.58 trillion. And that's why we got rejected at 1.62 trillion. So your next key support level, all right, is pretty damn obvious. You can see we're respecting not only this line right here is going to be support, right? And this line is going to be support. So your most key support level is 1.35 trillion, I guess 1.35. And your most critical resistance is 1.62. If you get above that, your next critical resistance level above is going to be 1.95. So it's as simple as that, guys. I give you I gave you fib channels in multiple directions, and when you have confluence between lines, that's gives you better opportunity, or your chances of getting a successful trade, or your chances are a lot better. But again, I do teach you this method if you want to learn how to create these charts. But guys, I just wanted to show you those. Maybe next video I can do a deep dive in some of these altcoin charts. But the takeaway of this video, guys, well, yeah, I said that, you know, the bubble popped before. Look, if we're below this red line, in my opinion, you know, the bubble is popping, all right? For now, that is your support, 116,700. Be bullish above that point. This is just one way to look at it, all right? As I said, this line has been resistance since 2017, guys, 2017, all right? We pushed above it briefly, all right, and now we're coming back to test it as support. So that's your first critical support level, right? And just like that, if that breaks, this curve, again, I just showed you, goes back since the beginning of Bitcoin. So those are critical resistance levels that are now support. I have to say, though, breaking above such critical resistance that's now support, I would expect price to be much higher by now. 130,000. You know, the next target I have above that is around 160,000. I find it kind of odd that the highest we pushed up is 124,542, especially breaking such a key resistance level that goes back since 2017, as well as this curve that goes back since the beginning of Bitcoin. So that's why I think it's possible this was just a little fake out, little chop before we start having more downside. But anyways, bullish above 116,700. We get below that, well, your next point too long is 114,500. But if that breaks, that's it. Your macro support levels have all been broken, and that means you only have macro resistance levels. Hope that all makes sense, guys. Again, if you're going to leverage trading, CoinCash is a great option. If you want to take advantage of the specials, again, all of these links are pinned in the first comment description. If you want to check out their bonus specials, as well as the tutorial video, and also the link to my website if you want to sign up, get access to the charts. If you do sign up, though, make sure you email me through the website. I'll confirm you have an account, and then I'll send you a Discord invite link. That's it, guys. Trade safe, trade smart. I'm out.